What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mark and Kendra Unscripted. It has been a while. We could talk about consistency right now, talk about how shitty we are at being consistent at doing this due to the fact that we move all over the world.
It's a little hard to be consistent when you're moving every month.
Right. Every freaking 3 days. It seems like we're moving. All right, cool. So listen, it's been a while. We got about 20, 25 minutes. I'm excited to bring this thing back, but I just want to talk a little bit about kind of just, again, because we've been so inconsistent about life updates and where we're at and some of the stuff that we've been through and where we're at. But really what I focus on is your involvement in the company, right? Because I think that we've had a lot of really cool stuff happen in our life, but I think this past couple weeks, it's been really freeing for me to allow you to come in and like, just kind of, I won't say run the show because I essentially run the show, but really run the show, right? Like, okay, because let's just be honest, I don't fucking let anybody tell me what to do. It's just not,
You have an issue with that.
It is what it is. You don't tell me what to do. And I built a world where nobody can tell me what to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I then take advice, and this is some value for people right away, right? Your wife is your coach, your lover, your best friend, your mentor, your confidant, right? So like, since you wear all of these roles, I take a step back and I observe my life, my business, the way that I think objectively versus being so emotionally, right? Emotionally invested in it. So the past couple of weeks that you've really kind of stepped up, number one, and I like to say it on camera, is like, it's really, really amazing to see you kind of come into this version of yourself that I've always seen you as, and still talking to you right now who I believe you are going to be. And it's wild because, you know, I had a vision and it was going a certain type of way, but I recognized that our way is not that way that I thought it was going to be. Yet you're becoming this person through a different, but still a different path, yet becoming the same person, which is wild. But, you know, our audience is high-performing men, 35 to 65 years old, who struggle with alcohol. And we know that the greatest way for them to get the success that they want is to get close with their wife, yet they won't get close to their wife because they allow alcohol to come in between them, which keeps them distracted, and dudes begging for hand jobs or even allowed into the room. And it's just an awful life to live. I want them people to feel today what I feel, which is the freedom to actually listen to somebody you love because you trust them with your own thoughts. Because that's really what you're doing, right? You're taking my thoughts and you're like, here's my life. So what has it been like, right? So what has it been like for you to?
I mean, you can kind of go any direction with this, but I think if we're just going to pick a starting place for the gentlemen who are like, oh man, I just think it's the coolest thing that you get to work side by side with your wife and, you know, we build this massive empire together. And like you said, I kind of am stepping into my own and finding a place where not only does it benefit you, right? Like, I mean, is it like your wife, and I hear everything that you talk about, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's actually something that you and I are really advocates for. Is I personally am a massive advocate for, if you're a wife, your husband should be able to come to you with, especially if you're building a business together, right? Like the pressures, the struggles, just the pressures and the struggles of what it really takes to get to the next level and do these things. And I know inside of the internet world, there's been a story that has been like circulated because I've heard it. That's like, you should never tell your wife, as a masculine man who's a leader of the family, anything that you struggle with inside of your business, because naturally,
just inside of you, right? Just
inside of you, right? Because naturally, the thought process there is your wife should never have to handle that, right? She's a feminine. She's not supposed to hear that. And I think that that's one way you could handle it. If that works for your family, that's fine. But inside of what we're building together and equal in all things, I actually find out for myself that I desire to know every single thing you think. And we're talking about like that vulnerability, and the reason that you can come to me, that's because you come to me. You share with me the good, the bad, the ugly, what you're struggling with, what you wish you could do better, right? And so trusting me with that, and me saying, okay, listen, like, I hear you. This is what I think that we can do with that.
What has it done really for your confidence? Because you're talking to the dudes. I don't give a fuck about the dudes. I talk to them all day, every day, right? So I'm talking more to the wives out there that are sitting on the sidelines, watching their husbands pretend to build these big empires that are probably built on a house of cards that are ready to fall down at any point because they're drinking, lying, cheating, smoking, jerking off to fucking Bumble, whatever, right? Like they're doing some strange things in their life. But the wife that wants to get involved inside of their life, right, inside of this thing, by me opening up the door and be like, yo, listen, check this out. I'm running to, I know 100 million is the number I'm trying to get, but like I'm running to this number and I can't do these type of things. And I keep bouncing on this number. I keep building and burning and building and burning. I'm like, I can't figure this out. Why don't you figure it out?
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Right?
And,
like I handed it off.
and so here it's kind of, that wasn't the natural progression. So for like a wife that may or may not, I didn't see myself 10 years ago being involved in anything business. I didn't know anything about business. I was a mom. I came out of the military. Like I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And so then you and I, we get married, we start this life together, and you're a businessman and you're going on all these endeavors. I didn't start that way for me. I started literally crawling by learning self-development, learning all these things right before I stepped into it. But what really put me into the position to be like, okay, this is what I want to learn was your confidence in me. You again, future casted all the time. Hey, this is where I want to go. This is where I see us going. It was never like, oh, this is my business. This is what I do. You're just the wife and you stay home with the kids, right?
Right.
But there was a time where the children being raised and me doing that took priority for me, right? But you still never stopped talking to me about the business. You never stopped telling me what the plan was or where we were going, right? Because I remember it must have been like 7 years ago where it was like, I'm still raising little babies. This takes precedent for me. This is what's important to me. I still want to know what's going on in the business. I want but if you think I'm just going to like jump in and start running, I wasn't there yet. I wasn't there. I wasn't educated enough. I didn't even know what it would entail. My confidence, anything was not there, right? And so it took massive patience on your end in holding true to your North Star, right? Like that you knew in your heart, like you said, you always had this vision of what we were going to do and where we were going. And you had to be extremely patient in that. Like, I think it would be too easy for these guys to say, oh, well, I'm a changed man. I've been changed for 2 weeks. Why don't you want to work in the business with me right now?
Yeah.
Well, it's probably going to take a little bit more time than that. And I had extreme trust in each other, right? But anyways, the natural progression for me was, like I said, crawling before I could run. And so it was, okay, I'm going to do this. You're going to tell me about the business. I'm going to learn self-development. Then all of a sudden you're going to throw me into some coaching and maybe I could start learning that, which inside of that.
I've tried throwing you in like the deep end many times.
You did. And here's the thing though, in through all of that, I actually just had this conversation today with my friend Allie, about like, I am so proud of the fact that you threw me into that, essentially like threw me into that, right? Like I always felt like you were there. You were always in my corner. But I had to figure it out for myself, right? You were always a guiding source, but you never told me this is how I need you to look. This is how I need you to speak. This is what you need to say. It was, I believe in you. They want to hear exactly what you got to say. You just do your thing. And at the time I was like, what the heck does that even mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what do I have to say? That's where my mindset was at, right?
That was for some time too. It took a while.
But I loved that you constantly were pouring this like massive picture into my head. Like, okay, you know what? You're going to get out there, Kendra. Hey, we have a coaching event in Scottsdale and you're just going to get out there and speak in front of these people. Or first one in Florida where you're like, there's 73 people out there, babe. And I just need you I just need you to get on stage and speak. And I was like, what? Okay. But I loved that you did that because I didn't know what I didn't know, right? So, and what I was trying to say is kind of then I started coaching, right? Like you threw me into these positions where I was excited to do it because I felt like we were still doing it together, even though I was trying to get the wind under my wings to fly, right? Like you're like pushing me out of the nest, like just go do it, which is the best way to go do it. Right. Started coaching. And then now we're fast forwarding to this part where I still enjoy coaching with you, but where I really find that I'm thriving is more of like the operations of our business. Because you absolutely suck and have never taken interest in like.
It's so wild, right? I can build the most structured, disciplined, like life development plan that can change 14,000 dudes' life.
100%.
I can't. I just
said this the other day. We were trying to sit in the office.
Like it.
I was like, okay, I need you to think this thought process through. Like, I need a structure. I'm asking you, like, how would you like it to go, right? Mm-hmm. And you're like, you were getting so frustrated. You're like, I don't even want to fucking think about this right now. Like, I can't. I just, and you were making it such a big deal. I was like, honey, listen. I like brought my octave down. Like I'm talking to like a 3-year-old. I'm like, honey, listen. I don't need you to do that. All I need is for you to tell me yes or no, ABC. What is that? I was like, and that's it. That's all we're doing. And you're like, no, and you were just getting. But that's so funny, And I had to learn that of you, and I had to learn my strength inside of that position, inside of the company, and like the operations of it. Because, like you said, you want to make a funnel, you want to sell something, you want to change somebody's life all day, the easiest thing in the world to you. But to get you to sit down and focus on a process and a system for 5 minutes, impossible. But what's amazing, and again, as I've learned through my own progression, is that I'm really strong at that, very strong at that. And so it's like, okay, you have me, systems, processes, back end, how things should flow. I'm a massive problem solver. I see it very clearly when you come to me with a problem inside of the business. I'm like, oh, this is how you solve that. This is what we need to do. Or your brain doesn't necessarily work that way.
No, my brain works best because I'm the mouthpiece, right? So just like this, these guys are like, what's the podcast gonna be? I don't fucking know. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna talk. And I'm just gonna change life, right? Like this is how I do things. I've always done it like this. So, and it's made and changed a lot of people's lives. It made millions of dollars. And the minute I get tried to put into a box, I'm like, dude, this fucking box is meant to be broken. I don't want laws. I don't want rules.
And what did I say yesterday?
Right?
Because you were explaining that to me, and I said, you don't have to be in a box. I said, you created this world. This is your business. You don't have to stay in a box. But the people in our things, I said, they need a flow. People operate better when they know exactly what to expect, that it's predictable. They can give you the result that you're asking for. And so to you, though, I had to learn over a lot of years that it doesn't make sense to you to stop and explain something to somebody who's a grown adult, because you don't operate that way. No. You're like, what do I have to do? Got it. I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to be the fucking best at it. Most people are like, hey, I want to come in. What do you expect? How can I do this? How can, you know what I mean? And so anyways, the progression for me of like, hey, I can only say that it worked the way it did, and why we're at where we're at now through all of the ups and downs, which we've gone through a lot.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Lot, by the way, is that you've allowed me the space to explore it myself. You never forced me or tried to control me into like, this is what you're doing, because it was always go at your own pace, because I'm going to do what I need to do, Kendra. I believe in you. You're the best. You can do it, right?
Right.
And I think that just gave me so much confidence and trust in myself, really, as we're going. I was just talking with my friend Allie this morning, and I said, if you would have asked me 10 years ago, as Mark is going through all of this, like, I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't feel confident. I didn't know what the heck to speak on or to like, because it's important to me to articulate and to sound intelligent. I think I've talked about this before. Like, I take a lot of pride in that. And so when I look back 10 years ago, I'm like, what the heck was I talking about? But that's how you have to start. And you allowed me to start that way. And I'm so grateful that I have speeches of me fumbling and sounding like a complete incoherent idiot. And you're like, that was the best thing, Kendra, that I've ever heard. You're amazing. I love you. And I love that you did that, because I wouldn't be where I am right now, being able to help you run a multi-million-dollar business, if you wouldn't have did that for me, you know? And so I think if a husband really wants his wife and he has this dream of like running an empire, like you said, it may not look like what you want it to look like. Because like you said, you probably didn't see me running this way. You didn't see me doing operations and these things.
Oh, I didn't see the operations, but I guess I didn't necessarily see the position, because I don't think of position, but I saw the woman.
Yeah, sure.
Right, that you're going to become. And I was actually thinking about this when I went to the office right now. I don't want a piece of, what's it called, arm candy. I want a partner.
Yeah, sure.
Right, from the beginning of this thing, right? I didn't just want somebody that looks good. There's a lot of white, like, I could list off names of people that are just like, they have no substance.
Oh, sure.
Like,
beautiful, but no substance.
Beautiful, no substance. They wouldn't even understand what a lead is, right? Like,
I didn't know any of that in the beginning.
Right, I get that. But the point, they never even get the opportunity to do that, because the dudes keep them from it. Now, maybe that's their want. Maybe they want that. Maybe they want their chicks to do whatever they do. Me, I wanted to have somebody that, for me, it was a giant goal to be able to build you up to the point that if I died, you could carry on in some form or fashion to be able to take care of my children financially.
Yeah.
Right? And you're not going to go lay brick or become a construction worker. So I needed to teach you how to think with your mind and speak with your mouth, so that you could understand this internet world and build your own brand if something happened to me.
Yeah.
That was always the intention. But I was thinking about it when I was turning left there going on to Saguaro. I'm like, there's only really, like, let's be honest, Jackie and Elena are like from moms.
Mm-hmm.
There's
not too many moms
There's
out
not too many moms out there that do a great job momming and truly step into the role and responsibility of the leadership portion of the company.
Yeah.
And although you're not there yet, you just kind of like you're there, but you're just a novice in that area, and you're going to soon be an expert. So the woman that I see right now is like, I don't know how you're going to do your job, and I don't give a fuck, right? To be honest with you, I know that like it's going to get better because you're going to get better.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do this job. So I kept trying to get you to this point, but we started at such a low place, which is like, yo, what's your goals? I want some chickens.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That's where it came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big thought to me this morning.
But at the end of the day, I think the most important part is for any gentleman who wants his wife to be more involved is you have to involve her. And I'm not talking about like giving her the shitty paper, like go file this paperwork or go clean up my mess. You made me feel, like you said from the beginning, an equal in all things. Even when I sucked at coaching, even when I didn't know what I was doing, you spoke to the winner inside of me before I believed it in myself. And I think that takes massive patience. It takes massive empathy, kindness, like all of the things that you always pour into me. Like you're the most kind person to me. And I wouldn't be able to become who I
you are.
Well, I don't know about the world, but to me you are. And I just think that gets so easily overlooked. You know, it's like, I asked my wife to be involved in the business. I'm like, okay, what did you have her do? Well, you know, I had her fucking take out the garbage. Well, no wonder she fucking doesn't want to be in your business with you.
You got her down doing the shitty jobs.
And like I said, you were talking to me like I had already been in business for 10 years. I didn't know what a lead was. I didn't know what the ROAS was. I didn't know what any of that meant.
In my opinion, you're doing the shittiest jobs right now because you got to do all this structure stuff. Like, that sucks.
But to me, I find so much enjoyment in that because to me, it's organized, it's clear. I love things to be so crystal clear, so concise, and like, did you get it? Got it. Okay, you're not understanding? How can I help you understand it better? Which way do you learn best? What another way can I show you? How can I coach you better? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I just, but it takes a long time. It can take a long time. It took a long time for me. Like I said, mother first was top priority for me. And so I can only speak to husband if you are interested in having that same type of dynamic relationship, business, whatever it is, you know, equal in all things, building side by side, truly building an empire together. It takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of love. It takes a lot of coaching. Again, you and I talk every single day about the business, the kids, where we're going, what do we want it to feel like. And I think, and again, inside of that, there was just so much belief and power in myself that manifested because you spoke that to me. You were the leader inside of it, you know? So I give you get the credit for all of it. Truly you do, because you can look at a husband and you can look at a wife and you can know exactly how much a husband pours into his wife by, like you said, how articulate she is, how intelligent she is, how much does she know? Not just a piece of arm candy, no matter how beautiful you are, right? If you want to build something of substance, you have to be of substance. So I love that.
Yeah. You know, I had this, an eye-opener the other day as we're building this thing out, which is, like, I'm really, really enjoying working with my family.
You said that, yeah.
Right? Like, it's been this weird thing that hit for me recently, which is, I mean, I can make money shining shoes, right? I could work for these guys and like I could literally sell their shit and go, I can make money doing anything, and I know that. And even with my business we created, or our business we created, but my specific spot in the business, like I know how to make money and I know I'm gonna leave a financial impact. Between the life insurance and the shit we like, the kids are set up, right? But like to be able to make an impact on you guys while you're alive was something that was missing that just hit me. What I mean by that is I make an impact every day, but to be able to teach the skills in real live timing, right? Like doing the videos that we did with Phoenix yesterday, trying to get him where he's at, teaching you this stuff or doing this stuff with you, letting you operate inside of it. I was like, damn, there's some fulfillment that I have not had.
Actually, why don't you actually
say... Some joy that I haven't had. Because I'm like, dude, my whole theory switched. Well, I went from wanting to build a badass, big-ass fucking team to that was going to be in person to like, I'm only going to put myself around people I want to be around. Right? Start with my family, start with people I care about, like these guys behind the camera, right? I like them. I could have anybody come and do the stuff, but because I want them to pour into my kid too.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So creating a family environment, because I think a lot of motherfuckers on the internet, fucking pussies, but like, I think a lot of them talk about being family because it sounds good, gets likes, makes you feel, makes people feel good, but I don't think it's really true.
Well, we know that to be true. Nothing is ever as good as or bad as people make it seem, you know?
So, but that's bullshit, because for me, I want to make it something.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I want to make it real every time I do. Like every time I do something now for the rest of my life, I want it to be impact driven, purpose driven, family driven, and really build not just a culture that looks good because I can put it on Instagram.
For you, it's not about trying to make it look as good, but in your mind, like you told me 1,000 times, is it's not as bad as I am venting to you about. It's not that bad. So yours isn't about like, oh, I'm making it look so much cooler than it is, because you are true and authentic and a truthful man. Mm-hmm. But you do have a tendency to be like, oh, fucking the world is burning. And I'll be like, what are you talking about? Like, it's really not that bad. And you're like, yeah, it's not that bad, but in my mind it is, Yeah. But what I wanted you to share was literally the other night, I'm taking a bath in the bathtub, and we're having a very similar conversation about our son and like trying to get him to have like this forward progression. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he just needs to get a job and whatever, needs to go get a job doing, I don't know, something. I was like, 16, right? Get driver's license. He's happy. He's going to go drive to his job. And what I loved is you stopped me dead in your tracks and you said, I don't want that. I don't want my son to have to get a job outside of what I've created. And I think the easy thing for you to been like, yeah, sure, go Phoenix, go get a job at Guitar World, selling guitars, doing whatever. But no, you said no. I'm going to take the time. It's important to me to have my family be inside of what I'm created. That's what I want. I'm not fucking stopping until I get that. And I was like, whoa, okay. What job are you going to have him do? And you're like, I've already thought about it. We got the cameras. He's going to do this, and this. And the next day, what'd you do? You took Phoenix, got him. You guys recorded. He's editing downstairs. Right. And so. Because
it's not about the job right this second. It's about breaking him out of the stuff that he's going through, right? We could do a whole nother podcast about him reverting back after Sarah died and like just some of the stuff he's going through. But it's about being able to create a life that he feels good in.
But what I'm trying to say is you are creating the life that you want to create, and you don't say no to any, like, if it doesn't fit that, you are an automatic no. And to me, I was kind of like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Well, and let me explain that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I make real money.
Make real money.
Right? like I make, and I'm saying it's tangible cash, and there's a job that needs to be done, and there's plenty of video that needs to be made. We can fucking film all day. I've done 60 something ads before this, some other landing pages, now this, and I'm sure these guys want to do some more. So there's opportunity everywhere. And when I look at it, I'm like, why would if I got the opportunity to help him and he's got a little bit of skill and he can start with some junior level stuff, let me pay him real money of my money instead of paying it to other people, right? 100%. We got higher level guys. We need these guys to do some stuff, right? You got James that does stuff, but there's nothing wrong with having fucking 5 people create content. No. Because it's not about the content. It's about the interactions with each person that I get to be with. And then creating a life that puts impact and just relationship capital on one another.
I think more importantly, it's the life that you wanted to create.
Listen, I fucking hated every job that I ever did.
Construction, all these things.
I hated construction. I hated selling cars. I actually liked selling cars. I felt like a scumbag. I had bad bosses. I had bad leadership, and it never made sense. I remember being like, bro, I'm making $6.25 an hour right now. That's how much I made in 2000. I moved to Southern California. $6.25, cleaning a bathroom, answering phones, working at Pro Circuit, living in my car, didn't even have any money for a house, couldn't get a hotel, right? Why would I want my kids to have to go through that?
Yeah.
Why did I bust my ass for so many years to then let them go have a bad leader at fucking Chipotle?
Yeah.
Let him stand on a line where he gets more pimples.
Well, I think, yeah, no, exactly. But I think,
right? Like, what the fuck?
I think the coolest thing, and it kind of wraps up the entire podcast that we've done today, is that you had a vision.
I have a vision.
You have a vision, yeah. Well, yeah, you have a vision of exactly how you want your family to operate. And you lead us in such a way, and you give us the opportunities to step inside of those roles, right? Like you said, you have to be extremely patient, and you are, and you do. But that's what you end up getting, and you do not waver from what you want. And I love that about you, because I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. Phoenix wouldn't be in. The girls are going to have their own positions inside of it.
That's a whole nother podcast for sure. In the company, everything's going to be the way I want it to go. But do I really not waver from what I want? I mean, yeah, that's a tough one. I don't
You're flexible.
waver.
You're flexible.
I don't waver, but dude, I get hit, and sometimes I have to pivot, and it's like this it's like a boxing match, it's like a sneak attack, a surprise, right? I get hit with a left, and I got a jab, and I got to move because so much stuff is coming. I didn't waver from where I'm going, but I got derailed because I got knocked out. I mean, we're coming out this year, and straight up, where we spent about $2 million of our own cash. I had a fucking awful year.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, because I was going after this vision that was falling apart. I kept going and going and going, so we had to come back and calibrate. That's a whole nother podcast we could talk about.
And I love that you say that, because that's real. That's truth. You can have a vision, you can have a straight line, you can have an idea, but you are absolutely going to get knocked on your butt probably quite a few times before you actually get to where you want to go. So how badly do you want to get to where you want to go? You'll know by your husband, by the way, if he shares that with you and if you're actually moving towards it. My favorite thing about you is you do exactly what you say you're going to do. You always have from the day that I've met you. Even when you get knocked on your butt and when we have to make pivots and we're losing money, you still pour into our family like, this is our North Star, this is where we're going. Like, I may be down right now, but I'm not freaking out. I'm going to figure it out. That's what you looked at. How many times have you looked at me and you said, I know this isn't the way it's supposed to go right now, but I'm going to figure it out. And I believe you, because
a lot.
10 years, you've always figured it out. And in 10 years, I've grown beside you and we figured it out. It may not always be the prettiest and it may not feel like it in the moment, but...
What have I been telling you lately? This is our rock bottom.
Yeah, this is
our rock bottom's in a 7,500 square foot house on the side of Fountain Hills here, because Kendra doesn't like this house, right? It's so bad with your Escalade and life out there. But the reality is there's a vision. It's not about money. I mean, I love money, but it's not about the money. It's about creating a legacy. And I found, like, I looked at the word family business and I said, man, family, it's family of choice, but it's also my family. And if I can create opportunities within, I'm like I don't want to say, what's that guy called? Like Geppetto, the puppeteer or whatever it's called, right? Mm-hmm. Like I'm pulling the strings and I'm putting people where I want them to be, not because I want to have power over them, but because I want them to thrive in a position to have better opportunities than I've ever had in my life. Right? Like at the end of the day, man, I make a ton of money and I do a lot of different things, but I don't even spend any money on myself. I don't work for the money. I work because I want to win. Yeah. And I'm not winning on the level that I want to win at. But I also know, like I told you this morning, the blessing is coming. We've been shut down 30 times in 8 years on our ads. And I've kept fighting, and I hope they don't get shut down again. We've been shut down. We've been stolen from. We've been
pretty much anything bad, we've had it happen.
Yeah, everyone quit on me when it got tough.
Got sued.
I've been through so many freaking things, and but I just keep going.
You just keep going.
Because I don't know what else I would do.
That's
like what is the alternative?
Giving up.
And listen, I know, like, for the people that are listening to this, you can listen to a lot of people on the internet. The reality is there's a ton of us out there saying the same shit. There's some guys that are real, there's some guys that are fake. I don't know what they are, it doesn't matter. But for me, I just tell it like it is.
You do.
That's where we're at. When I suck, I suck. When I'm good, I good. That is what it is. So, anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it. I love it. That was long enough, right, guys?
That's it then for this week's episode of Mark and Kendra Unscripted.